Have you ever had that feeling, where you've learned tons of English words, but when you put them together, something just sounds a little off? Like you're missing some secret handshake to sound truly fluent. Well, guess what? In this explainer, we are going to crack that code. And trust me, it's a lot easier than you think.
Let's just dive right in with a classic example. Think about it. Why does make a mistake sound totally normal, but do a mistake feels, well, just wrong? This one little question, it gets right to the heart of what we're talking about today.
And hey, it's not just a one-off thing. Look at this. We say a fast car, not really a quick car. We talk about a powerful engine, not a strong engine. And you take a photo, you never do a photo. Now, sure, people will probably understand what you mean if you mix these up. But using the right combination, well, that's the difference between just getting your point across and actually sounding natural.
So here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to reveal that secret to sounding natural. Then we'll get into what a collocation actually is. After that, we'll look at a bunch of real-world examples, talk about why this is such a massive shortcut for your English, and then wrap it all up with a simple plan you can start using today. Let's do it. All right, let's pull back the curtain. That whole puzzle we started with, why some words fit together perfectly and others don't, the answer, the big secret, it all comes down to one simple concept. And that secret is collocation. I know. It might sound like some complicated grammar term from a textbook, but I promise you, the idea behind it is incredibly simple, and it's going to completely change the way you think about learning new words. So, what is it? Simply put, a collocation is a pair or a group of words that are basically best friends. They just love to hang out together. You can think of them as natural word partnerships. Over time, native speakers have just decided that these words sound best when they're together. And what's really interesting here is that it's not always about pure logic. I mean, fast and quick mean almost the same thing, right? But they partner up with different words. We say fast food, but we have a quick meal. These combinations just sound right, simply because, well, that's how people say it. Now, not all these word friendships are equally strict. Some are really strong and fixed, like take a photo. There's no other verb that really works there. But others are a bit more open. For example, you could say keep to the rules, or you could say stick to the rules. Both sound totally natural. Okay, theory's one thing, but let's get practical. It's time to actually fill up your vocabulary toolbox with some of the most common, most useful word partnerships that you're going to see and hear every single day. Let's start with a classic problem area, make versus do. Here's a pretty good rule of thumb. Make is often about creating or producing something new. You make friends, you make a decision, you make progress. Do, on the other hand, is usually for performing a task or an action. You do homework, you do business, you do the shopping. Seeing them laid out like this really helps you see the pattern, doesn't it? And the same idea applies to so many other common verbs. We don't do a bath, we have a bath. We don't make a chance, we take a chance. We have lunch, and we take notes. Learning these as a complete chunk, as a single idea, is just so much more effective than trying to memorize single words out of context. And these partnerships go way beyond verbs. Check out this of pattern. We use it all the time for quantities and groups. It's a slice of cake, a bar of chocolate, a bunch of flowers. It even works for things you can't touch, like a bit of advice. These are little phrases you just need for everyday conversation. Seriously, these partnerships are everywhere in English. You see them in adjective and noun pairs like strong wind or heavy snow, and you see them with adverbs and adjectives, which is where your English can get so much more expressive. You're not just aware, you're fully aware. It's not just cold, it's bitterly cold. See how much more depth that adds? So you get what they are, you've seen some examples, but why is this so incredibly important? I mean, what's the real payoff for focusing on these? Well, this is the exciting part, because this is a genuine supercharger for your English skills. Okay, here's the bottom line. Learning collocations gives you 4 huge advantages. Number 1, you're going to sound way more natural. 2, you can express yourself with so much more color and precision. 3, it'll make your writing style so much better. And 4, if you're taking exams, using these correctly will absolutely boost your scores. It's a game changer. This example says it all. I mean, anyone can say, it was very cold and very dark. It's fine, but someone who knows their collocations can say, it was bitterly cold and pitch dark.
Can you feel the difference? It just paints a much clearer, much more sophisticated picture in your head.
Okay, hopefully you're convinced. But how do you actually learn these things so they stick in your brain? You need a real strategy, right? So for this last part, let's build your own personal plan for making these word partnerships a permanent part of your English. Here it is, a simple 4-step plan. Step 1 is notice and highlight. Start acting like a detective when you read or listen to English. Look for these word pairs. Step 2, record them. But, and this is important, always write them down in a full phrase or sentence. Context is everything. Step 3, group them. Organize your notes by topic, like weather, or by a keyword, like all the words that go with take. And finally, the most important one, revise and practice. You've got to actually use them when you speak and write. And here's a pro tip to help you out. A good learner's dictionary is your secret weapon. Seriously, next time you look up a new word, don't just read the definition. The real treasure is hidden in the example sentences. They are loaded with the most common collocations for that word. Make looking for them a new habit.
So there you have it. The secret to sounding more natural isn't some kind of crazy magic. It's just about learning words in their natural partnerships. Now you know the what, the why, and the how. And with just a little bit of practice putting this into action, well, it's going to be a piece of cake.